Well, thanks everyone for coming. It's really important to be here for family night. I started this journey with Gateway years ago. 3 of my 4 children are addicts, and I lost my son 4.5 years ago to a drug overdose. He was 21 years old, which is mainly why I started to do this. He was just a very happy kid. He was really, really happy. He went from never wanting to miss school to get a certificate to when he got older and went into high school, never wanting to go to school. Ryan had some issues with excessive compulsive disorder, which disturbed his being able to feel like everybody else. And I'm sure a little bit of depression came with that. It starts out as they smoke joints and you find out, and then you do what you have to do to help them through that, and they're drinking with their buddies, and a lot of it you feel, I guess, is sort of what kids do. They experiment with different things, and then every time it was something worse, and I never in a million years would have believed he would be shooting heroin. I believe the day that he died, he just thought he'd just take a little bit more maybe than normal. And I saw him the day before and he seemed fine. I didn't really think, of course, that would be the last time that I would ever see him. Well, I go in a couple times a month or once a month, and I meet with the parents, and I explain my story and I show Ryan's pictures, and it's very touching to me to watch the faces of the parents, because I remember sitting in those same seats feeling the same way. You don't really want to be there. You want to be anywhere else but there. And the kids are wonderful. I think the youth are wonderful. They're just kids, and that's what's so sad. Some of them are 13 years old. They're just kids. They don't have any clue what life's about. Some of them have very disturbed family lives, and some of them don't. So there's no rhyme or reason. And as a parent, it's very difficult. It's such an up and down lifestyle. It's very difficult to understand why this is happening. Why don't they just turn their life around? We don't really realize what the struggle is for them. They turn into someone you don't recognize, and that's what's so terrible about this. I sat in your seats many, many, many times, and I was always really angry when I had to come here, because it started with my son who passed away when he was in high school. He started smoking pot and drinking. And it never, in my eyes, I thought would ever progress into the point where he started to do OCs and eventually shoot heroin and eventually die from it. But that is pretty much what happens with this disease. And I used to say to my kids, it really stinks for me as your parent, because I'm not sleeping and I look like heck and I can't concentrate at work. And I'm not getting high. Something's wrong here. The same thing that's happening to you is happening to your parents. They're not getting anything from it at all. It's killing them because you're their child.
Your life can change in a split second. Even though they tell you when you go to Gateway that as years go on and your child's still progressing with their addiction, that if they don't change, they're not going to make it. You don't ever think that's really ever going to happen. You still keep that hope that they're going to change their life, and it's going to be just something in the past, and it's going to be fine. And when it isn't, it's a nightmare. It's a true nightmare. My other son has no brother, and my grandson will never know his uncle, which is something that's very difficult. And my girls don't have Ryan anymore, none of us. It's just difficult in the way that, that chance isn't there anymore. They're not coming home anymore.
He had a best friend that lived in Maine, and he was there visiting, and he was the first one out of the group of kids to make it to the top of the mountain there. That was his victory pose. He used to say, "Mom, someday when I get clean, I'm going to go to Gateway and I'm going to go to schools and I'm going to talk to kids about this." And unfortunately, he just never made it there. So I guess he's given me the strength from above to move on with the strength from the Lord. And I know for a fact if my son could walk through that door, he'd say, "Man, don't do it. It is not worth it. You leave behind such a mess."
You have to try to move on. So this is how I try to move on. If I don't do this, it will always be a negative thing that happened to my family. And if I do this and it becomes something, wow, there was something really good that came out of it.